Hi, my name is Dr. Jackie Darby, and this is.
I'm Dr. Arubah Khan.
So, I'm a licensed psychologist at American University Counseling Center, and Dr. Arubah Khan is our postdoc fellow at the same center. And here to talk to you today about how do you handle uncertainty? Because right now, the future is looking a little bit cloudy.
Right. Like, we don't really know what's going to happen. We're currently quarantined. We don't know when we'll be able to kind of go back to what we consider normal, if ever. It's pretty scary. And we've been doing this also now. We've been doing this in-home life for, is it 4 months? Almost 5 months.
Wow.
I don't know. I just found that out right now. So
I mean, I feel like if we were in a relationship, thinking at the 5 month mark, it's like we're having the, oh my gosh, are we serious conversation?
I know if you're at 5 months though, and you're kind of just like, am I okay with this? Maybe.
You start meeting the parental at this point? I mean.
Me and the quarantine just broke up. Anyway.
Hashtag is complicated.
Yeah. So we're here to provide hopefully some insight. I mean, I think again, kind of like a similar video that we did a few months ago. I don't know that there's like a clear-cut answer of how to kind of cope with this and then come out the other end being like, I'm fine. Like, this is just a difficult time. And so we want to acknowledge that maybe we can't take away what's happening, but we also would hope that we can provide some support. Go ahead.
No, I think that's the first step, right? In terms of how do you manage the uncertainty is admitting that, this sucks, and admitting at what it is, acknowledging what's going on. Because sometimes I feel like we try to pretend like everything is quote unquote normal, but that what makes the uncertainty worse, right? Because we're acting like it is what it's not.
Absolutely. And I think something else that is really going on right now is people are trying to avoid thinking about this, like avoid thinking about the reality. I think it's pretty commonplace for people to now avoid reading about like COVID-19 or reading about what health professionals say. And I think that's coming from a place of wanting to protect the self from the bad news, right? So the potential that this could go on for several more months, that hundreds upon thousands of people could get really sick and pass away. I think all these things are just really difficult and very, very heavy to kind of navigate. And so I think people really are trying to avoid learning more. And what we know is that avoidance does not take away the problem, right? I think that it makes sense that we want to sidestep the news articles and not dive in. And I wonder if it's actually doing a disservice, right? Because then it's when we are faced with any realities about the situation, it's overload all at once. Everything you've been avoiding, it's there.
Right. I think what you're tapping into is this idea that when self-care becomes more problematic than helpful, right? Because avoidance is a technique of self-care, like taking a break, kind of maybe even taking away some of the, not looking at the news or having a filter so you don't see all the headlines. But at some point that becomes problematic because you're basically denying and not even acknowledging what's happening, which keeps the anxiety up, right? It's like when you're afraid of the dark as a little kid, when you don't turn the light on, you are just having everything, just worried about what's this, what's that. But once you turn the light on and actually see oh, it's actually a coat hanger, it's not a monster, it's no longer scary.
Right. And so I think part of what we're trying to say is while we understand that desire to kind of avoid and take care of yourself, and we still hope there can be a balance, we also would hope that you'd lean into some of these things that are really scary. Maybe little by little, maybe start by talking about a couple different articles with your loved ones, discussing some of the things that you're really afraid of. Or even if you're on your own, go down that train of thought, the one that you're really avoiding of what happens if, I'm quarantined for what if 2020 is just shot? What if this year is about, this pandemic, and what does that mean for my personal life, my professional life? Go down that route, see where you end up.
Right. And I think also too, kind of going on this idea of a radical acceptance, right? Of saying it is what it is right now. Doesn't mean that it won't change, doesn't mean it won't get better or worse, but right now in this moment, this is what the situation is. And sometimes that's very helpful because it kind of grounds you in the here and now and not in the future of what ifs, right? Because if you go down the rabbit hole of what ifs, oftentimes you can just get stuck in this pattern of this what if, but rather say like, hey, this is what my fear is right now. Okay, I see this. I played with it. Now let's go ahead and put it back in its box, because right now, in this moment, this is what it is, and I'm okay with it.
Right. And maybe even with like something I'm thinking about is like affirmations, and like how there might be a way that we speak to ourselves often, and we'll talk about kind of doing positive affirmations, right? So like, I am worthy, I am powerful, things like that. During a time right now when things are so uncertain and there's a lot of just ambiguity, wondering if it'd be helpful to like add kind of some if statements even into like the affirmation of like, even if XYZ happens, I am fill in the blank.
I like that.
Yeah, honestly, I might have to like make that happen myself. Haven't done that yet, but I think it could be helpful. We also, I think, really wanted to make sure we talked a little bit about control and like why this ambiguity is actually very like difficult to manage right now.
Yeah, because I mean, as soon as you said control, I thought of the Janet Jackson song, but I'm not going to go there because of time. But I thought of the fact that, as human beings, we like to be in control because we like to appear that we're able to master whatever is happening, especially stuff that we don't understand or stuff that is scary, right? We're trying to conquer it, for lack of a better word. And so when stuff is out of our hands and out of control, we feel disempowered. And so having to get power is not just to avoid it or to just like, let me control every single thing, because that just adds more to the anxiety. Rather, powering and saying, hey, these are the things that in my power, what I can do. These are things in my control that I can do. And that's what I can focus on. Outside of everything else, I can't. So I shouldn't put that mental energy into it, because that's taken away from the things that I'm able to do right now at this moment.
Yes, so great. Yeah, I always think about like this conversation about controlling anxiety of like you're again like focusing on not the problem, right? So if you're trying to control everything, that becomes the actual issue that's creating the stress, which then like you can't really get to like what's underneath that, which is the anxiety. So if we can kind of, what I was thinking about was the LL Cool J song, Lose Control. Like if you can just like lose a little bit of control, maybe there's actually some room for healing and growth. Yeah.
I'm trying to laugh, but it's just probably not happen.
At this point, like it's fine.
It's fine. Trying to control my laughter, right? But I wasn't being genuine. So another thing too, right? When you're spending energy trying to control a situation, it does feel disingenuous. It does separate you from the moment and allows you sometimes to miss connections because you're so focused on this one thing that, it's okay if you don't focus on it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be all right.
Definitely. And I think that it is okay to be afraid that you won't be all right. And it is okay to like be very cautious with the risks that you take in terms of like losing control, and just see what you can tolerate. Start somewhere small, see if you can tolerate the anxiety that comes with that. So like, for example, if part of your control is not reading an article, see if you can like read even like, just the beginning, like description, or read the comments well, maybe don't read the comments. Never mind. That's never good advice. But see what you can tolerate first and then build up from there. You'd probably surprise yourself with how much you could take.
Exactly. And sometimes you don't have to do this by yourself, right? Sometimes it's helpful to kind of have someone join you in going down this rabbit hole or join you in exposing stuff that's kind of uncomfortable. And so that's where, as a counseling center, we're always a great place to help with that. So either we can help you in terms of finding a provider in your community that can help you go through that process, or if you're in the DC, that we can actually help you during teletherapy. So we're here to help either way.
Shameless plug. Well done. Well, that was so smooth.
Smooth like peanut butter, I'm trying to tell you.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I want to just like also highlight that we're really trying to put resources out right now into the community with the understanding that maybe we're not able to see people in person, but still really want to help prevent mental health concerns or crises, and really trying to like provide information and support. So please check us out on social media. We've got a Twitter, we have an Instagram, we even have a Spotify. Like we're doing it. But yeah, this video was really just to kind of hopefully provide a little bit of insight, maybe even help you kind of stop and realize that there is a lot of concern and uncertainty and some worry about that. So hopefully it was helpful.
Hopefully it was too. Like we said before, you can always visit our website for more information. Until next time, I'm Dr. Jackie, and that is...
I'm Dr. Arubah Khan.
You guys take care. Bye.
Bye.